here we are. Okay, let's run some credits. I haven't updated the credits in a while, sorry guys. We're all geeks and nerds here, I think. Enjoy some spreadsheet action. Oh, will you? Starting game dev section. That's where we are at. Yeah, because I was struggling with the problem. This is usually what happens is I present myself with a problem, and usually by my own making. So don't worry about that. I'm well aware of that. And then I go, okay, if I have something that I have to do over and over and over again, then what can I do to not have to do it? I know that sounds terrible, but that's exactly how I look at most problems. So let's take a look at this. So let me grab the right screen, our base screen. And we can use today's jokes as an example. Let me just, I need to mark something out here so that you guys can't see tomorrow's jokes. You will not see tomorrow's jokes today. It is not going to work that way. So let me go down here and then just, we'll blank all these out for right now because the whole system's built on a single thingy. Go down here, make these black. Doop 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 doop. Okay. Make that, we'll just make it white for now. Everything's white. You won't be able to see it, so that's all good. So, the first thing I do, and I've showed you this before, is let me get the window open. Window was closed for a reason because I had to hide some things. Okay. So here is today's jokes. So this is the basic format that all of the jokes come in, and they're color coded. And if you look here, then they're written on the corner here. They're whether they're a pub quiz, a dad joke, or a riddle. You know, there's some identifiable stuff there. And what I do is first thing I do is I format the dad joke for the screen. So that's what this here does. This is it formatting. It puts all the quotes in, everything it needs to go into After Effects to create the screen that you see when we're doing dad jokes. So it creates it, it puts all the code in, and I'll show you how that works. Let me get After Effects open here, because we're going to go back and forth between this and After Effects and show you how it's kind of put together. It just takes After Effects a second to load, and we will load dad jokes. Okay. So we get a window for this plus window capture. Window capture. We're going to capture the After Effects, and we needed to show it's going to be this bottom one so that you can actually see what's on the screen. Okay. Alrighty then. So what we do is we bring this over to here, and let me see if I can get the window a little bit better for you. This gets rather large, so oh God, sorry, I need to be able to see a little more here. Okay, so if we go down here, we have a text file here, and that text file has everything in it. So this is how I set up the base dad jokes for every single show. And all I have to do, the way I have it set up, is all I have to do is go here at the bottom here. Let me see if I can open this up. So let's make this a little bit bigger. So this is what our other thing is. So if we take this here, if I copy this, like so, all the way to the top, just say copy, then all I have to do is come back to this one and say, okay, we need to update this. So let's just grab it from here, do that, and say done. And then that automatically, oh, there's a bad one in here. Let's fix it real quick. It's probably the Cal joke, yeah. So you do have to make some fixes now and then because of quotes and things like that. But there, that should fix it. So now, just by doing that, done. All my dad jokes are formatted correctly. There's a little bit of code on them in Anchor Point, so that if we go to Anchor Point here, Oops, did not mean to do that. Z, undo. Okay. Open this up. There's a little bit of code here that just tells it to center top to bottom in the box so that everything is, there's a center point for everything coming in. Do you know of a free? I do not know. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure there's something out there. You know, this is unfortunately one of the costs for doing business. So intro, all good. Okay. So that's how and then this code is always in here, and all it does is make sure that when we have a double line, let's see, a double line or a single line, they always center in the same spot so that it fits on our gray, because we have a this one doesn't have it, but you'll see it on the next page. So then that is part that goes to this here. So if we go here, that then is put up here, which is this right here is from, it's just that comp that we just looked at with the jokes in it. And that's all it does. So now it's perfectly centered. It's on there. If we put a red background, you'll see this is the box that it's on when we're in our dad jokes. So it does that. So my next problem was, okay, if we want to assign the picture to each joke, we have to know what the joke is, right? So here we go. So that we now have that. We have our words up here. So then I'm like, okay, so we have the frame. The frame is just the frame. There's not a whole lot to it. There's a backing on it. There's a frame and then the backing of the frame, which is just there. You know, just something so that we have a place to put the pictures. Also, I made a simple, let's see, where's the numbers? So this is our numbers, and all I did was write a little piece of code that puts the numbers in the right place. So if we go, no, I didn't. I guess I didn't. Maybe I did. I thought I did. I did. So see, that's the same kind of setup where we say each frame, it skips every third frame, but you can see here that it's the numbers, because those are never going to change, so I never have to touch those. So then the problem, like I said, came in with, okay, we have the pictures, but we don't know to sit here and go, okay, this was a pub quiz. This one is things. To set those pictures just seemed like a big pain in the butt to me. So if we go back to our spreadsheet, this is so silly. I wrote this code yesterday or Saturday, and I'm like, okay, well, I wanted to tell me what frames use each thing. So it said, okay, if it's cute, what frames are the dad joke frames? And it says, and it tells me now what frames are the dad joke frames. And then it says, okay, what frames are the panda frames? What frames are the proper dad frames? You know, so which ones are dad jokes? Which ones are riddles? Which ones are PQ? And the way I get this is I have a little search here that goes back to where we put our guys in here, like in our in here, and it looks at what this Q is, whether this is Q, J, or R. And if it is, then it says, okay, we put the frame number in this directory, in this here. So it basically goes through the top 20 and decides, okay, what is here. And then it creates this here. So this is the code I need to go back to After Effects and highlight those pictures. So if we go back, if we take this, I'll just grab the one for cute. We take that piece of code and we go back over here to After Effects, and all we have to do, and this is awesome, is we go to our cute picture, which is right here. It's like I have it written as cute dad PNG. And all we have to do is go to this little piece of code I put in here for opacity and enter. All I have to do is copy that in there. And then it will put that there, do a quick check, everything's good, and then just hit, okay, done. and it highlights everywhere where that's supposed to be. And then we do the same thing for the panda. We do the same thing for that, because all I have is in the After Effects file, all I have is the single picture going all the way across with no, and it doesn't do anything. It's just the right size, and you just size it the right size, and then you update each of those, and it comes clear. So then I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to go to all these different pages. I want to be able to set them and then get them in a single place. So what I did was I created a base page. I have the finals page, and it automatically updates with what today's list is. And then it also automatically writes the code for where it goes in for the actual jokes themselves. And that's it. And then these are the separate pieces of code. Like this is the center anchor code, which is on the page where it's just the text. It centers it top to bottom so that I don't have to worry about it fitting in the box on the next page. Then we have the cute code. And all this is turning on the opacity on and off based on frames that have the cue, or based on lines that have the cue. And then same thing with pandas, it just turns the opacity on and off. So yeah, so it's just an easy way to do it, and I have it all on one page, so I can just go here and go, okay, let's update these, let's put the text in, and then this stuff here is already in there, so I don't have to touch it. But I wanted to be able to have copies of it so that if I ever lost the After Effects file, I can always fix it. Yeah. And so that's how I do our dad jokes. And all it does is I don't really need to. The only reason I ever have to go to this one is to move the next set of dad jokes up, because there's a dividing line here, and the rest of the week's dad jokes are right here. But I turned them all white so you can't see them, because I don't want you to see them before dad joke day. But all I do is just take the next 20, copy them, and put them up here, and then all this other stuff is automatically done. So I never even have to look at this again after I copy those. All I have to do is go, okay, here they are, it's done. Copy, 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 render it out, and we're all done. I'm not a programmer. Your algorithms are on point. Oh, thank you. Yep. So that's how I do those. The tricky part was coming up with, I was like, oh my God, because I realized Saturday, I was sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, I might as well set the dad jokes up for Monday. and I realized putting those pictures in every single time was just driving me absolutely crazy. Using this where it's just like putting the picture in the right spot for the frame, and then just turning it on and off when it's that kind of joke is, to me, just made logical sense on that's the best way to do it. And then having the spreadsheet tell me which ones they are, that made sense to me too. So like I said, if we're looking at this list here, which is where we're doing, as long as I have this over here marked correctly, then it will always put the right picture up. So yeah. I also try to color code things, but they don't always get color coded correctly. But I'm improving that too. So eventually riddles will all be green, and dad jokes will all be a certain color, and pub quizzes will all be a certain color, so that they're easier to identify visually when I'm going through this. But we'll work that out as we go along. But I do have down here, the rest of the jokes for the week are down here. Now, another thing I do is, if you see this over here, these red lights, what I do is I do a count of basically it's a len of all the letters in the joke itself. And if they exceed a certain number, in this case, I believe it's 60, then I know I have to go in and put a /n in so that it cuts the line into two pieces. If it's over 100, like this one here, then I know that I have to cut that line into 3 pieces. And I do have to do that manually, but it's not a big deal because I have this highlights the ones I have to look at and see if it's really necessary. And it's an easy thing. You just put a backslash n in there and it fixes it all up. So that is how dad jokes are now down as of Saturday. And this is how the pictures are matched up correctly. The number never changes because it's always going to be 20. But that's how that is done. I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But yeah, that's how that's done. And then it's just After Effects. And then in all honesty, it's just once I put those few pieces of code in, it's just, okay, render. And one thing I always do, and it used to drive my boss crazy, but it makes perfect sense to me. I save before I render. And I'll show you how fast this thing renders out. So render time on this is nothing. Boom. Bam. So that's it. That's the render time. Let's turn that off so we can see the zombies. Yep. So yeah, so that's the render time. But like what I was trying to say was this: was once I render it out, I don't save it again. I reload it. And the reason why is just silly because it's just me being lazy. Is if I reload it after rendering it, then I don't have to reset my render queue again because my render queue is set. So I always save, and I've done this for probably 20 years. I always save before I render. And I originally did it because if there was a problem, it would be easier to fix if I had the render queue already there. But now it's just habit. So, but yeah, and the red background gets taken down. So when I render it, it doesn't have the red background. But because we want the transparency there and all that. But that's how it's done. That's how it's done. And now there's a little bit of automation to it to where it automatically builds all the stuff for me. And after the show today, I'll go and copy the next 20 up to the list, to the top list, and then it will automatically feed all this stuff. So yeah, that is how I do that. As silly as it is, but it makes me laugh. So close that because we're not going to use that again until later. Hope you found that somewhat interesting, you know. But the thing is anytime that you're doing anything repetitive, you have to find a way to automate it if you can. Same thing with any game making stuff. Like we had showed in the original design stuff that we were doing for this thing, that you can automate building all of your code for all the signs, all the people, all that stuff, to where it builds it for you. You just have to add a name and it automatically puts the format together for you, and you just copy and paste it in. So yeah, that's worked out pretty well for us. I want to do this on a browser level. You know, maybe you can do it with Google Docs on your Google Drive. Maybe. The trick is, no, yeah, because you should be able to take all the formulas and use them. All the stuff for the spreadsheet, I know you can do in Google Docs. So yeah, and then you just have to copy paste it into After Effects. So I bet if you don't have Excel, because it's all pretty much, you can actually use Excel code in it. But yeah, so yeah, tonight, it'll take me literally 5 minutes to set up the new, the jokes for tomorrow, and then all that other stuff comes free. It's just copy paste it all in. SQL, yeah. Yeah, you might even be able to build a database for it all and then just run it from there. But yeah. I have to find, I know that there used to be a SQL for Adobe, and then they took it out of the Creative Cloud. I really liked it because that's how I wrote like the Christmas thing at Jagex. That's how I wrote the automatic banner builder that I did years ago. You know, because it could build 4,000 banners in literally 25 seconds, you know, so that was always fun. So yeah, so that's one of the things I did on Saturday. Now the next thing I did on Saturday, let me get our game up, because we are now, what the, oh, come along, load up, you got this. We're going to number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5. Okay. So the problem we were having from the tutorial till now is that let me do a build here. Let me put that up first. That way you have something to look at in the blank window. Okay. Turn this on. Okay. So here we are. Because what we were experiencing was these were jittering when we actually went into the game. Let me do a new build. And so we were looking for a solution as to what to prevent those from being jittery, and I figured it out. So let's do a build. Replace the 2 files and then start it, and then we will open it. We have to change this to the correct one because it used to be on 4. Now we have to put it on 5. Okay, that is working. Good. Turn that on. Okay, so our problem was that the guys were jittery. So if we go back over here now, we can see like even she now is pretty high res when she was like getting all pixelated before. But if we go now over here, these guys don't jitter anymore, and they actually keep a lot of their detail, which we lost before. And what's funny is it actually was changing literally just one line in the code. Good morning, just finally got in, spent all morning at urgent care. Vein exploded in the back of my leg. Oh, I hate when that happens. So hopefully they were able to fix it up. He's also streaming on YouTube, which should make it easier to look at pieces you missed. Yeah, so now it doesn't jitter when we walk back and forth, doesn't jitter when we walk up and down. And we keep coming. I was surprised that the quality kept there. You know, he does a little bit of, Hemdell does a little bit of jitter, but I think it's just because of we made them smaller. But yeah, so that fixed that, which was great. But yeah, we're that did that. And what it was, and let's pull up let me close this so we can go back to the game. It was literally one line. And I saved the line. It took me an hour and a half to find the line as to what needed to be done, because I tried like literally for an hour and a half. I was trying to figure out what it was that did that. Where are we at? Okay, it should be right there. Yes, it's right there. Okay. So we go up here. Where is just where I saved it on that. Oh, I did. Okay. So in the O game, which is our game. So if we go to objects, in our game object, let me find it here so we can show you what it looks like. Managers. Okay. So we have O camera, we have O game. But in O game, there's one line that needed to be changed, and it's the one down here. So if you're doing that tutorial and you find that you're getting jittery stuff, it's this line here, which is it's the surface resize. Surface resize line is the line that was in the tutorial, but now it needs to say display set GUI size, and then that fixes that problem. So I actually marked it out here so that I can show you what line it was and then what it was turned into, and that seemed to take care of all of it. And that solved it on all the all of the screens, so nobody's jittering anymore, and it's not trying to force a it's not trying to force the resolution change on something that doesn't need it. So if we go back now into town, go back to town. Here, we're going to town. Running over to town. So now, even like these guys, they don't look as bad as they did. But if we do like Steve here, Steve looks really good. You know, our new guy looks really good. But even the regular resizes of these guys, they don't look too bad. They're not great yet because I have to put them in the same way that I did Steve and the other thing. But I also want to be a little bit wary because I don't know how much memory they're going to take up, and we don't want to screw that up. Yeah. SQLite is the one I use for all of my databases, because even the my movie stuff, mostly I use the databases for when I'm doing stock evaluation stuff. But unfortunately, Yahoo has kicked me out and won't let me do stock evaluation anymore using their data. So I may have to pay for data, but we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, SQLite is what I use, and it seems to work perfect. Yeah. So yeah, so yay. I still have to figure out why we can't. Why I still don't walk under. It's the whole layering thing. So I think what's happening is our parent, which is, let's go back to the game. So our parent room, I gotta go to rooms. So this is our base and this is our parent. And I think that here is where the problem lies. Is I don't think that I created enough layers in the parent, and it's getting confused. So we should have set all these layers and what their depth is before. Yeah, because it's that, and then that layer is, yeah, this layer is 0. So we should have set all of this up beforehand. I'm not sure what will happen if I change it and, well, I mean, we could try it. What is our base here? So we have a tile set. We have, let's see, it gets information somewhere else too, init. So this is part of where the problem is too. So init is the background. Yeah, instance. So my theory, I don't think this one has. This is where all the original stuff's supposed to come from. This is supposed to come from here. But this isn't set. No, this is set. Okay, so that's set. This is, I think, where we need to. Let's find out. Let's try to add a. Let's go back to init and say, okay, let's add a tile set. Does it change it here? It does. So now, does it change it in one of our buildings or one of our river? It does. But we need to go to, let's go to graveyards, family crypt. I think I just wiped everything out. That's highly possible. No, I did not. Okay. So what happens if we set all of those with the right name? Are there specific memory targets you are trying to hit? Not yet, because I don't know where to even check those. So eventually, yes, but I'm not too worried about it now because it's not. This isn't something that's going anywhere. This is not going anywhere. This is just us doing some play. So what we need to do, though, is I need to make a list of what we need for this. Because what I'm going to try to do is I think I can fix the problem of the layers by fixing it in the parent room. What I need, though, is from each of these. So if we go rename and copy the name, let's build. I'm going to build a list of tiles that are layers that we need. And then I will go back to the parent, put all of them in and see if it messes anything up in the stuff we've already built. I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping it just kind of deals with it. Because I think that as we added layers, we should have added them in the parent in the first place, and I didn't do that because I wasn't thinking straight. Okay. Because we can fix that, and then we can add and we number them correctly based on their depth. Then we should be okay, but we will see. Because we're running into quite a few problems with layering. What does this one do? I may have some extra layers in here that don't need to be there. Yeah, those two don't need to be. Oh, that's because we were testing with them. Delete. Delete. Okay, turn everybody back on. Okay. Oh, we did need the top one. That's the top of our building. We did need that one. Okay. Cool. But this is what we need to fix, and what we'll do is, okay, let's rename this to Roofsisses. Rename it Roofs. Because that's what we're going to try to do, is fix that roof situation. So if we go back to parent now, instance tile 1, we need to rename everything correctly. We'll add another tile. Okay. We go tile main. And we got tile upper. That down here. COL, which is our collision. I believe that's a tile set. Yes, it is. It's a tile set. A collision is a tile set. And then roofs, which is also is a instance. Okay, so let's look at the numbers here. Sorry, I'm going to pull this over here. We're doing okay. So if we're going to, so the back is his depth. What is his depth set at? Sorry, I'm moving the microphone so I can lean in here because the text is very, very small on the screens. Okay, it is. Okay, animated speed, no time. Depth. The depth of the background is 500. Tile 1 is 400. Tile 2 is 300. Collision is 200. Instance should be 0, all 100, and then roofs is 0. Okay, so that looks correct. Now let's see if we screwed up everything. Let's go to one of our actual places. I'll go back to here. What have we done? We have where is the number again? Okay, so background is 400, 300, 200, 100, and 0. So that one looks right. Let's go to our, got this. So 400, 0. Okay, so it didn't bring. Okay, then let's see if we do an can we inherit? Oh, we can. Let's try that. I won't save just yet, so I'm trying to inherit all the depths. It doesn't look like it's inheriting the right numbers. Back to our parent. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And there'd be -1 above that. So our okay. This one should be 400. Maybe because it's locked, it didn't inherit it? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, yeah, apparently I need to unlock and then relock it. 400, 300. 200, correct. Unlock, inherit, 100. Zero, and then roofs we could put at minus 100. Now, in theory, that should make it correct. I mean, if I save, it's all good. Let me save as X. Just call it XX for now. Then we'll come back to 5, and if this works, then we'll come back to 5 and fix it. We will do a build. Let's see what happens. I mean, if it fixes the problem, then that's actually a good thing. Xander Silver canceled their request to join. Okay, I didn't know that there was some request going on. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened there. I just looked up and it said Xander canceled their request to join. And I don't know what happened. Okay, save it here. Okay, something weird just happened. This is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Close that again. Come back here. Save the zip. Zip goes here. No, it doesn't go there. Go back here. Go to here, here, and then builds. That's where it should be. Okay. Click that open, then get it so you guys can see it. Okay. So let's see if that fixed the roof problem. Okay, we need to go up this way. Let me hold off before we go on there because of the zombie. Let's see what's going on over here. What are we doing so far? Oh, I showed how we did the how we're coding After Effects for the dad jokes, and now we're trying to. And I showed how we fixed the problem with the jitteriness of the sprites, which is now gone. Everything looks a lot better now. It's not all jittery. We have our otter here. Yep. But we can now move around. I mean, for some reason, Hamdell still jitters a little bit, but nothing else seems to be, so that's all good. And now we're trying to fix a layer problem. But I'm trying to do it as a universal fix, not just on one screen, by setting the depth of the tracks in our parent. And hopefully that'll fix the problem in the things. But I'm just waiting for the ad zombie to go, yeah, we're troubleshooting stuff. Yep. Troubleshooting all over the place, yes. But if we fix it once, then we don't have to fix it 100 times. We may have to go in and redo a couple layers, move them around for some of the other layers, but in the long run, they'll be set fine. They'll work great. These musicians, shooting first, asking questions later. 30 seconds. It seems to me that the ads are running longer. I'm gonna have to check to see if I touched something that I shouldn't have. And brains. Okay, so let's go in and see if now when we walk in that building, if he goes underneath the door or not. He does. But he doesn't, yeah, he does go under the building. Let's see if he does it in this one. Because we haven't touched this, but we may have to we have to re-angle the buildings. That's basically what we have to do. I have to check the layers based on what the layer. Okay, so let's go into the town here real quick. So that fixes the door problem, but we do need to go in and town buildings. We do need to go into our town maps. Village. This is our village. Because what we've done is we've done this. So let's see if they're. So 4, 3. Nope. 2. 1. Yep, that's correct. Villagers, they're, yeah, we'll leave them at Yeah. They don't inherit anything because there's no things. So back to this, inherit. Interesting. Oh, I didn't unlock it, did I? Oh, I did. Okay, instances should be back to here. Instances should be at 0. Okay, so it was right. Duh. So village, I think we have it set right. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then our roofs would be a -1. -100. Which we will actually make a roofs, which is an instance. I believe it's an instance. But okay. Rufus this is. And those should be, that should be automatically -100, and it did do it automatically. Awesome. So, in theory, let's look at our, see where we put the roofs. Oh, this is not the, this is our tiny village, so but that should work. Because this is a walkthrough. That means we're still going to have to put that roof on the upper one for him to go inside. So let's do that real quick. No, because it'll fade out. We don't want it to fade out. Okay, I'm going to have to look at that after we verify that it actually works. We will verify it works. Why, yes, I use Blender now for almost 2 years. Oh, cool. Alrighty then, let's open up the game capture. Oh, there you go. Let's go into our little village parts. Go back to our tiny village where we just made those corrections. Yeah, so we'll basically have to go through any place that has a building in it, go through and see if that is now working correctly. I hope it is. Nope. Oh, that's a fade one, so that's a whole nother issue. Yeah, we have to put that guy in. We have to put his roof in a different section. Well, technically, yeah, we have the layer. We just need to put that one roof there. So it does that. Oh, let's go back. So right now our roofs, I believe, are empty. So let's take everything down. Yeah, that roof is empty. So let's just put... Let's go back to our assets and our objects. Let us find our roof that is not on fire. Oh, it's up here under entities or something. Those are all townspeople's. Those are all our gods. Those are textures. Ah, I guess they're our enemies. Yeah, I don't know why I put it there, but that's where it's at. So we will first go to our This is the one. Yeah, we're going to take it out of that and put it in the roofs layer. We need a eraser tool. Erase the whole roof. Okay, up, no nubs to you. Okay, now if we take the roof and we go to our roofs setting, put the roof on top. Take the grid off. That should be fine for now. We're just testing it anyway. So now, since that roof is a solid and it's high enough, we should be able to walk underneath it now. So that just means that we have to move all the roofs that were for that onto the new tile set, or the new layer, which is a -100. So now that should be good. Go save, go build. And for those of you that are new, the reason I have to do builds is because if I try to do a run from up here, it crashes out OBS, or it screws up OBS. So we don't do that. Control copy. I have yet to find anybody that can tell me why it does that, but it does that. It doesn't, apparently it doesn't do it on your guys' side, it only does it on my side, which is kind of weird. Okay, wait for it to come up for you guys. Should come up any second. There you go. All right. In theory, we have replaced this roof. It did not work. Because it was not set. I'm an idiot. That's why. Wait a minute. I didn't change the. It shouldn't. Oh. Okay. I thought I had it right. No idea. I've never used it in video editing. Okay. I also use Blender. Blender, I know Blender's pretty solid, and then it comes with 3D modeling. Yeah, I use what I use for editing right now is Premiere, simply because it's easy and it comes with my subscription to Creative Cloud. So in the old days, it used to drop frames. It doesn't. I don't believe it does anymore. But in the olden days, before the dinosaurs ruled the earth, it used to drop frames, which was just, oh my god, such a pain in the ass when you're trying to get things done. Okay, so why does this one work? Why does Little Miss Muffet's house work where our others does not? A little mask. Okay, fair, I guess. Yeah, I'm glad that we finished Justice League, because Warcraft takes a lot of time out of the show. And I just looked at the clock and realized it's 20 after 3 already. And we're cutting, Warcraft 2 is really cutting into our dev time quite a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're getting stuff done and we're getting things in, but these little bugs like the vibrating pixels and stuff like that was kind of a pain in the ass, and I've been meaning to fix it for a while. I'm glad it actually works now. But yeah, that one's another one where we have to I'm gonna have to figure out what the difference is for the girl one, and why it works, but our regular one doesn't. Let me look at the layers in her area and how they're set up. That's the girl, and we're looking for rooms, not objects. I gotta close objects, they take up too much. Okay. This is, what is the name of the place we're going? Nope. Yes, so forest. Run, forest, run. Okay, so it's 400, 300, 200, 100. Instance is 0, and then roofs are minus 100. I'm gonna have to keep a list here. So that is 400, 300, 200, 100, 0, and minus 100. Minus 100, because I thought that's what we set the other one to. And this should only be her roof. Yes, that's only her roof. Okay, let's go back to our village. Open this up just a little bit more. So, what is this? Doesn't look like there's anything on that one, but that may be part of what the problem is. Let's turn all that off and turn this on. Does anything come up? Just her. Which we don't need her because she's... Oh, she's inside that room. Okay. So the other roofs are on the upper deck here. Collision, no. Village, no, that's just her. They're on the instance. This roof is not, and this is... Ah, there's the problem. Okay. Well, it's minus 1. This should be 0. Villagers are probably, the villager is probably what's messing things up. Okay, so 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait a minute. Collides on the wrong layer, should be on 100. Villagers are on 100. That is a problem. Okay, so we need to move them up. They need to be on 0. So something we need to think about later. Oh, I can put her on 50. Okay, 50 works. It could be on 50. That can now be 0, and this could be minus 100. Yes, okay. That might fix it. That might be what the problem is. So we need to add a villagers at 50 into our parent. I'm sorry we have to do these bug run things, but this is kind of part of what the job is, you know. It's also going to help us in the long run because we're going to be able to not have to worry about them in future times. When we start on something next or things like that, it's always going to be up. It's going to tell me no. Close window. Try again. All right. Alrighty then. Let's see if that fixed the problem. If not, then I'm gonna have to do some research and see what happens. Let's go back to our little leisure place. Through the beehives. Okay, so that one we know doesn't work. This one now should be... it doesn't work. I think it has something to do with the fact that it's fading out and it shouldn't be. Should not be fading out. The code for that should not be an issue. Because that should be here. Okay. What if I did this? What if I turn roofs into a tile set? Or let me just try something real quick. I want to throw a tile set up there at the top. And we'll put it at -200, which is good. -200 is a good place for it, which is already set it at. We're going to move the roof. Grab all. Nope. We did not mean to do that. Kill that. Go here, grab this roof, copy it, put it on the tile set above. If it will let me, apparently it will not. Okay. Roofs, tile set. We need to do it as a tile set. I'm a dumbass. Need to add the tile set to it. I believe it's this one is the correct one. That is the correct one, yes. All right. We're going to take this like this. We're going to put it, like this on this tile set. We're going to remove this one so it is no longer there. Just show the tile set without the building on it. Yes. We are all good. Now that is set to -200, which should be correct. File save. Build the executable. Bug bashing is a typical part of every day. Yes. You chase bugs constantly. And I do mean constantly. There is no, that sometimes it's all you do. It's like, okay, this is what I wanted it to do. Why isn't it doing it? Oh, because it doesn't like you. That's why. It got up this morning and said, you know, I really don't like him. Therefore, I'm not going to work for him. And he's going to have to chase it down. But these are things that have been bugging me for a while, like the whole jittery thing and all that. That was bugging me, but by the same token, I'm like, okay, well, it's not important to fix. Now that I'm on, let's fix some bugs. We're fixing bugs, you know, so let's see now if this will put the building behind. Okay. Aha! Alrighty then. You can see his little ears go underneath it. Okay, so all we have to do now is we have to have a second tile set on the top for anything that he needs to walk under from the front. So all of the things that we put in instances that don't disappear, any building that has him walking into, the roof of that building has to be on the roofs layer. So, but that's cool because now what it saves us now is now we know depth. Is we can say, you know, it'll be easier to understand when he can and cannot walk in front or behind something. And it does look like he does walk into the building, which is actually kind of cool. So we'll have to go through and fix that on all of our places that have buildings. This one is still a walk-in, so it's kind of okay that he, yeah, we can work something out. We'll work it out. There's a meme in programming where the dude is pulling his hair and the text code working. But why is the text code not working? But why is the code working? Yeah, it's exactly right. Is you wonder why it doesn't work, and then you wonder why it works. Because especially if you feel like you didn't do anything to fix it, then you're like, huh? That's not how this is supposed to work. There's no crying in programming. But now we know. Now we know to build our layers. We know that we have to arrange our parent to have all those layers in it, and we'll design all that stuff, so that'll be cool. And we put the layer settings in there, which I think is actually going to save us a lot of fucking pain, because I think I've made some mistakes because I didn't have that in the first place, and I did some workarounds to try and fix it. But cool. So now he walks into the buildings. We like that he walks into the buildings. Gotta love it. Got to love it. That's funny. My screen is frozen. Is it completely frozen, or is it just me? It might just be me. Oh, it's me being in India. Okay. Yeah, so, and I think that's something that I didn't quite understand, and I don't remember ever seeing in the tutorial, is worrying about the layers and their sizes and where they appear. Now it's something that I can think about, because I can think about it in regards to how Photoshop works with its layers, and then work back from there. So we know we're basically from the top to the bottom, literally is from the top to the bottom, and then where we put our instance with our character is, we know that those are things he'll be in front of, those are things that he'll be behind. So, because I was not aware that that's how it worked before, but now we know. There, that's pretty typical. Artem, Reddit complaining, say it ain't so. Huh? Oh, hey, a lot of happy little trees. Yes, lots of happy little trees. It's funny because I was doing some testing, and let me bring the game back up here. I was doing some testing, so I'm like, oh, I need a whole bunch of cash. So I went to the forest here, and I think I even showed you guys that on over the weekend. Now I can just like burn through the forest and get all kinds of cash. Get other things too, but we can have enough money to buy everything in the game. Boop doop. Woohoo! Monies! Money. Oh, we can't get that one. Because it's been the collision for the end of the map. I think I need to make the maps one size bigger and leave it black on the outside, so that we can one matrix bigger, leave it black on the outside. What's this say? Town. Yeah, so now we're rich. We can buy all these candles. Kidding. So yeah, unfortunately today was spent mostly on bugs, but I think we got them figured out. We have the layering figured out. Now I have to go back and in the parent and set those numbers, and then go through every map and see if they're set correct in those maps. Would also be really good to do the naming conventions correctly too. So I may not do that one on a screen, because I think that's just going to be a long, tedious thing, but we will get it good. I joke, but I also have no clue if the issues are legit. Something like that deserves a second opinion. Oh yeah, always have other people look at your code. Okay, well. Sorry, I got a notification from Creative Cloud saying, you haven't opened us in a while. I'm like, and? Am I obligated to open you every day? Is that how that works? I opened them last week and updated everything. That's all I needed to do. So yeah, so now we know that we can, we need to go and make sure that our layers are all set. And what I'll do is I'll go through every one of our maps and say, okay, what layers do we need? I mean, and it's also a good idea anyway to go through and say, are we using more than we really need to use? You know, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, most of the ones that don't have buildings on them, I don't think they're going to be a problem. But it's still good to make sure that we use the same stacking convention. I think that's a good way to put it, a good stacking convention for it. This one's going to be a pain to fix, but we'll do that. This won't have any of upper layers. This one's not even used. We can probably delete that one. Yeah, none of the inside buildings are going to need it, but we'll see how it goes, because I don't think we're. Yeah, we'll go through and name everything, and then do the base inheritance, see what screws up, and then fix it. Then I can also go in and replace all of the small versions. Once again, in let me just go through this one more time. So in your O game setting in things, if you go to create initiative, initialize globals, at the bottom, this is what fixed the jitter. Is we have this where the green line here that's commented out was the old line, and then this is what I put in for the new line, and it fixed the jittery effects that were going on for our stuff, for our sprites. So like our statues, all that stuff were very jittery. And this line, changing this line to this line, seemed to fix it. So now they're no longer jitter. They don't like jittering. Jittering is not good. I searched everywhere for the answer to that yesterday. Oh my god, it took me, like I said, it took me about an hour and a half to find the answer. I mean, it wasn't just about finding the answer, it was about finding the answer that I could understand. Because, not a programmer, so it does make it a little difficult. But now they don't jitter. You can walk behind them, all that kind of stuff. You can go up to and talk to them. We can talk to our otter. The all wise and knowing otter. Yeah, everybody's got names now. Okay. Yeah. Now we can also walk behind the building, walk under the roof of the buildings, which is good. It also works with us going to another. It makes sense now. Yeah, see, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to do. We have found a solution. We have implemented it, and it works. Yeah. I think these ones down here are just, yeah, these are just Invisos. Which I think those are fine, that you kind of walk over the door a little bit, because it's not too much of a problem. But see how Nurse Ratchet is doing. Hey, Nurse Ratchet, what are you doing? Oh, fixing bugs. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, we could probably now save this as the correct one. Save it as 5. Save as. We make it 5. Instead of double X, because we know it now works. Yes, it will cause other problems, but we will fix that as well. Okay, we're all saved up. We're all saved. Everything's good. Yay. Close that down. You want to? Yes. Did you not save the changes? Oh well. If it didn't save it, I'll fix it tonight. Okay. Hopefully it saved it. So there we go. Let's just get the things. Yeah, I really need to cut down on, well, without having Justice League there, hopefully we'll be able to do Warcraft beta without me getting lost in it and doing it forever. So let us. Oh wow, what did I do there? For that, go back to me.